it's funny because all of these prophecies that we read, when we look in the kingdom of heaven and we see the Israelites possessing, inheriting the Gentiles. And so you're saying that, well, you know, the Gentiles that are believers, they're not going to be getting inherited by the Israelites. It's going to be the Gentiles who didn't believe. So now you can make it into the kingdom without believing.
Well, that's why Paul calls it the mystery of Christ in Ephesians chapter 3, of course. But you know, just like there are two distinctions within Israel, those who survive and make it in, and those who don't, and yet we read Israel's going to do these things. Well, yes, you're going to inherit the Gentiles, but is that the believing Gentiles, those who joined with Israel? What about all the proselytes who had converted and partook of the covenant
Okay,
with
so
Israel?
which Gentiles are these who the Israelites get to possess, and they're the property of the Israelites in the kingdom? Which Gentiles are these?
Those who did not enter into the covenants prior to the return of Christ.
How do you enter into the covenant prior to the return of Christ?
Well, since you like the Apocrypha, we have Jude chapter 14,
oh, verse 10. No! Now the nigga want to use the Apocrypha?
Since you like the Apocrypha, Achior the
Oh,
Ammonite, he believed in God, he was circumcised, he followed the law, and he joined the house of Israel.
Okay,
and
so okay, all right, listen. I wouldn't argue against that, even though I disagree with that. I think that would be the better argument to say that a heathen would have to serve the true Israelites, you know, keep the commandments, circumcise themselves, and possibly they could get some grace and mercy. I wouldn't argue that, even though I don't agree with it, because I don't think a Gentile can escape the curses that's put on their people, just like we couldn't escape the curses that were put on our people. But send me an email so I can get your credentials, and we can set up another discussion.